Ohio State and Michigan, rivalry week. Now, this is a real rivalry. I don't like Michigan. I wanted Michigan to lose to Notre Dame. I wanted Michigan to lose to Army. I wanted them to lose their non-conference games. I wanted them to lose their conference games. I wanted them to lose all their games. And I wanted Ohio State, and obviously the Ohio State game. And in the bowl game, I want them to lose their bowl game. I was happy when Florida beat Florida beat Michigan last year in their game. That's what happens when you dislike your rival. You don't want them to do well. It's not like you want them to do what you want them to play poorly against you, but then against everyone else you want them to do well. No. Dislike is dislike, and I dislike Michigan. I want them to lose. And that's why the SEC, the Southeastern Conference, does not know rivalry. And then, I guess from a conference point of view, it makes sense. But from a rivalry point, it doesn't. Let's take Alabama and Auburn. And let's say that Alabama beats Auburn, they make the playoffs, and then let's say they play Ohio State in the first round of the playoffs. Well, Auburn fans will be there. Auburn fans, wherever they will, they'll be rooting for Alabama over Ohio State, and they'll be saying SEC, SEC, SEC. I think that is silly. Putting the conference over your team. That's not what college football is about. At least that's not what it's about to me. I put Ohio State over the Big Ten. I like the Big Ten. I would like, it doesn't mean a whole lot to me, but yeah, like Purdue to win their non-conference if it's a big game, or Michigan State or Illinois or whatever, or Indiana, but not Michigan. And same thing with Florida and Georgia. Georgia fans will be rooting for, they'll be, because the SEC chant. And it really gets annoying. Why would you root for your conference, even a rival conference? That's not why would you root for your conference, even if it was a team that you supposedly don't like? That tells me that Auburn fans really don't dislike Alabama, and they're shouting SEC, SEC, SEC after Alabama, if they would win the college championship this year, which I don't think they will, but they might. So, putting the conference ahead of your team, I think in some ways that's what the SEC has come to, and that's why I've lost respect, a certain amount of respect for that conference. I remember in college, the Valparaiso Ole Miss game, and I remember Valparaiso making that shot with no time left, and they won the game. And I was watching it with a person who was a UK fan. So he probably never even went to Mississippi in his life. We just saw an incredible game, where a Cinderella actually won, and he was sitting there mad because an SEC team lost. And I'm thinking, wow, you just saw one of the greatest shots and plays in the NCAA tournament history. And you're sitting there unhappy because a team that you don't even have a fan base for, but just because they're in the same conference of your fan base, they lost. That's what the problem is with the SEC. No, I'm not a mad hater. I don't hate the SEC. But I think their fans need a wake-up call. It's not like, okay, well, I'm an Alabama fan this year, and they lost. Okay, well, I'm an Alabama fan this year. They lost. I'm just going to jump on to Georgia or LSU. That doesn't go like that. If Penn State would have defeated Ohio State last year, you think I would have gotten on their bandwagon and would have acted like they were my favorite team? I guess this video is just a call for fans to be loyal for their team. And sure, it's okay to like your conference, but everyone has a different definition of what a real fan is. And I get that. I'm not saying, well, my definition's correct. But if you will, I'd like to consider the point of view What's more important to you, your team or your conference? And if you say your team, then if you're Ole Miss and Mississippi State is in the bowl game, why would you root for Mississippi State? Now, I know technically, yeah, well, if Mississippi State wins, what makes us look better. But see, when you really don't like your rival, you don't want them to win. You want them to look bad. So, just a couple points I wanted to say. Just all in jest and fun. It's not really a serious video, and I'm a Buckeye fan, but the thing that separates people, I believe, whether you believe or you don't believe in Jesus Christ, that's the most important decision, not what college football team you like. Jesus Christ is what separates us, and if we believe in Jesus, we're brothers and sisters. So I mean no harm by this video. I would like to spark your conversation, a nice conversation, but thank you.